What up, everyone? Welcome back to Knicks in 4, where we talk everything Knicks. I'm your host, Ayers. If you're new to the channel and you're enjoying what you're watching, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's get into it. So, breaking news. The New York Knicks have traded Cam Reddish to the Portland Trailblazers for Josh Hart. Now, obviously, this is a move we all expected to happen. Cam Reddish was either going to be traded or bought out by the deadline. But to my surprise, and I'm sure a lot of you would agree with me, we had no idea that Josh Hart was even an option, or for that matter, even on the Knicks' radar. So what we're going to do today is react to the actual reporting, credit to ESPN, on the specific details of this move. The Portland Trailblazers are trading Josh Hart to the New York Knicks, sources told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski on Wednesday night. In return, New York is sending Cam Reddish, Ryan and Shvi, I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce their names, the cheerleaders, the poor man's versions of NSYNC, and a protected 2023 first-round pick to Portland, sources say. The lottery-protected pick turns into 4 second-round picks if not conveyed this year. The deal comes on the eve of the NBA trade deadline. So, finally, we have some movement here. And this is not a one-for-one trade. Obviously, there are some pieces involved and a protected pick involved. But to be honest with you, as I've been a proponent of packaging some of these pieces, we finally are on the move, and we are sending away one protected pick, which in the long run I don't think it's going to have any real detriment to us. And who are we getting in return? We're getting a guy in Josh Hart, who, to be honest with you, this is not a discussion of between him and Cam, who is the better player or who has the better ceiling. I've made my comments in the past about how I believe Cam Reddish has a very high ceiling, and if we're just judging Josh Hart for who he is, he's a vet in this league. He's been in the league for a number of years, and he is who he is, right? He is not going to get any better than what he is right now. And Cam's value to the New York Knicks, as again, he has a high ceiling. We were never going to get that value out of him, to begin with. So in my eyes, I like this move. I like this move a lot. And when you're talking about a guy as Josh Hart, obviously Josh Hart is a wing. I wouldn't say he's a 3-and-D wing, as he's been having some struggles with the three-point shot this year. But he is a wing. He's capable of D'ing you up. He's tough as nails. He has a high basketball IQ. And more importantly, I think he will fit into this second unit perfectly with IQ. And he will fill a lot of holes that we've been having over the course of this last few months in the season. According in a deadline deal with the New York Pelicans last season, Hart is averaging 9.5 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 3.9 assists for the Trailblazers this season. He has played in all 51 games for the team, starting each, and is averaging a career high of 33.4 minutes. Now, if we're just judging Josh Hart by the statistics alone, it's not really anything to be overjoyed about, obviously. But Josh Hart is one of those type of players that he impacts the game in a multitude of many ways, often ways that you're not really going to see show up on a stat sheet. And he has those intangibles that we desperately need. And, to be honest with you, while I'm a little bit sad that Cam is gone, we knew that his fate was sealed. Bringing back a guy like Josh Hart, especially, again, given the fact that him and Julius were teammates going back to the early days in LA, this gives, us a little bit of familiarity. And we get a proven vet. We know what he's capable of. We know what he's going to give us. And putting him in a system with Tom Thibodeau, I think this is a player that would fit right into a Tom Thibodeau system perfectly. But let's continue on. Hart, 27, is one of the best undersized rebounders in the league, and he's capable of defending multiple positions. His 8.2 boards are the most by a player at 6'5" or shorter. He also leads the NBA in offensive rebounds per game among players 6'5" or shorter. Offensive rebounding is a strength for the Knicks this season, as they rank 3rd in offensive rebounding percentage and 1st in second chance points per game. Now, Josh Hart is going to provide us some more second chance opportunities. And, there have been a few losses this season, particularly recently in the last couple of weeks against Washington, where I witnessed Washington get so many second chance points, and we didn't really have any sort of counter, being that Mitchell Robinson has been injured for the last few weeks. So to add another rebounding guard, somebody that can help us in the paint, need be, when we don't have any of our bigs or for injury or whatever reason, I think this is going to help us tremendously. Offensively, Hart is a good facilitator and shoots over 70% at the rim. His three-point attempts, however, have declined sharply this season, down to less than 3 per game after averaging 4 in 2021-2022. So yeah, his three-point shot has suffered this season, but that's not something I'm really bothered about. I think this is just maybe an off year for him in terms of the three-point shot. I have all the confidence in the world that he can increase that percentage, whether it be the remainder of the season or whether it be in the future if the Knicks are entertaining and keeping him. We'll talk about the contract details in a moment. But again, that's not something I'm really worried about. I would much rather have him for his strengths rather than him for his weaknesses. Hart is making $12.9 million this season and has a player option for the same amount next season. If he exercises the option to return by a June 25th deadline, the contract becomes non-guaranteed. The deal reunites him with Knicks star Jalen Brunson, his former teammate at Villanova. The two helped the Wildcats win a national championship in 2016. So there you have it. Not only was he former teammates with Julius Randle back in LA a few years ago, he was also teammates with Jalen Brunson back in their college days. So you're talking about a lot of familiarity here, bringing Josh Hart to the team. And you know what? I got to give credit where credit is due. Now, I've been quite vocal about my displeasure, my disappointment with the front office, but I think this is one of the best trades that Leon Rose has pulled off low-key. I mean, he did such a solid for Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, bringing them a guy who they know, who they can trust, who they can depend on, a veteran, a trusted vet. And I think this is just going to help the team much, much more than going after a sexy move. Let's still like to entertain a sexy move, obviously OG Anunoby, but I think if the Knicks come away in the trade deadline with just this one move, I'm not really going to be that disappointed because I wasn't expecting us to make a home run move anyway. And this is the type of glue move that I think we need, a move that would benefit us more than anyone else, right? Because we have some holes that we need to fill, and Josh Hart, in my mind, is one of those guys that can fill those holes. But let's continue on. Brunson had his number 1 jersey retired at halftime at Villanova's game against DePaul on Wednesday night. He was seen on video first learning of the trade after the ceremony and yelled out, "Yes." So let's take a quick look at Brunson's reaction to hearing about the news of Josh Hart being traded to the Knicks. That's what's up, man. That's what I love to see. You know, guys being overjoyed to play with each other. You know, this is a move. Again, I'm really happy to see guys on this team happy. And if we can create more synergy, more, trust within the guys playing on this team, then that's going to help us tremendously, especially when it comes playoff time. So that's going to be all for the video, guys. Again, in terms of Cam Reddish, Reddish has been looking for a new opportunity after falling out of the rotation. He has an opportunity with Portland. Obviously, you have guys like Dame over there. And I think Portland is a good destination for him in terms of being able to showcase his talents and having a legitimate opportunity, given the fact that there is not really anyone on that roster other than Dame, who is a solidified star. You have the other guy, I forget his name, the guy that got drafted this season, who's been playing very well. But, didn't work out, Cam, with the Knicks. I wish it did. I wish things worked out differently, but unfortunately it didn't. And here's your shot. Here's your chance to make something of yourself, make something of the remaining season going forward. I don't think Portland stands any chance of making any realistic run. Maybe they'll make the play-in by accident. But he has a chance to prove himself. Maybe he can get a nice contract. Maybe Portland will extend the qualifying offer over to Cam. But we'll see what he does. It's all up to him at this point. But overall, I am quite ecstatic about this move of Josh Hart. I'm very much forward to seeing him play with the Knicks. I'm not sure when will be the first game that he plays with the Knicks, but I'm pretty sure, frankly, it's going to be quite soon. Maybe not the next game, maybe the game after the next game. But this is a move I'm very excited about. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know how excited you are about Josh Hart coming to the Knicks. Is this a move that you are perhaps not excited about. Maybe you were looking more for a home run hit. Home run hit is, not yet to come. We still have some time left before the trade deadline occurs. But let me know what you think. Are you guys sad about Cam leaving? Do you think Cam will flourish with Portland? Do you think this move would help us with a playoff push, given that Josh Hart is a proven vet? But that's going to be all for the video, guys. I'll catch you on the rebound. Peace.